Nearly 4 decades of Young and the Restless history are about to come rushing back into Genoa City. Nina Webster isn't simply returning for another familiar face appearance. Her homecoming brings memories of the Chancellor family, unforgettable friendships, dangerous relationships, heartbreaking losses, and a journey that began when Nina arrived as a frightened pregnant teenager in 1986. Now, Trisha Cast is stepping back into the role, and this emotional return connects Y and R's present to one of the most memorable chapters of its past. When Nina first appeared in Genoa City, nobody could have predicted how deeply her life would become connected to some of the show's most important families. She entered the story as a young pregnant runaway searching for security and a future. What followed was a complicated journey that transformed Nina from a vulnerable newcomer into a character whose history became permanently tied to the Chancellor legacy. Her relationship with Philip Chancellor III became a defining chapter of that journey. Their marriage connected Nina to one of Genoa City's most legendary families, and that connection continued through their son, Chance Chancellor. But Nina's life was never defined by happiness alone. She later became involved with David Kimball, and what seemed like another romantic chapter became something far darker. David ultimately emerged as a dangerous killer, putting Nina at the center of one of the dramatic storylines that longtime viewers still associate with her history. Through betrayal, danger, heartbreak, and enormous personal changes, Nina survived. Her story expanded even further through her sons, Chance Chancellor and Ronan Malloy. Those family connections ensured that even when Nina wasn't physically living in Genoa City, her history remained woven into the fabric of the show. Trisha Cast eventually stepped away from Y&R as a regular cast member in 2001, but Nina never disappeared completely. Over the years, she has returned for special appearances, reconnecting with characters and reminding longtime viewers of the friendships and family ties that made her such an important part of the series. Now, during the week of August 17th, 2026, another chapter begins. What makes this homecoming especially meaningful is the connection between Nina and Christine Blair. Nina and Christine shared a memorable friendship on screen, and that bond carries an interesting real-life connection as well. Trisha Cast and Laura Lee Bell have remained close friends away from the cameras. Cast has spoken warmly about their friendship, and about how welcoming it feels to return to the Y&R family. That genuine connection could make Nina and Christine's reunion feel even more nostalgic for viewers who remember their earlier years together. Nina is also returning at a moment when familiar faces are entering new chapters. Danny Romalotti has a fresh musical endeavor ahead, creating another opportunity for longtime characters to reconnect. Traci Abbott and Christine are also part of the social circle Nina can naturally step back into. Instead of Nina simply appearing as another returning character, these connections allow her comeback to serve as a bridge between generations of Y and R storytelling. And Genoa City has changed dramatically since Nina's earliest days. The Chancellor legacy is once again surrounded by controversy as Billy Abbott pushes an explosive claim that could create a major corporate battle. Old family history is suddenly influencing present-day power struggles, making Nina's return particularly fitting. Few characters understand how complicated the Chancellor legacy can become better than Nina. At the same time, the Newman family is facing its own emotional crisis, while relationships throughout Genoa City continue shifting in unexpected directions. Against that chaos, Nina brings something different. She brings history. Her presence is a reminder of friendships that survived decades, families that changed forever, and storylines that helped shape the Young and the Restless long before many of today's conflicts began. For viewers who watched Nina's original journey, her return carries a completely different emotional weight than an ordinary guest appearance. They remember the pregnant runaway, they remember Philip, they remember David Kimball, they remember Nina and Christine standing together through life-changing moments. And now, nearly 40 years after Nina Webster first stepped into Genoa City, Trisha Cast is bringing that history back to the screen. This time, the biggest attraction isn't simply wondering why Nina has returned. It's seeing how a woman with decades of connections reacts to the Genoa City she finds today, and watching old friendships come alive once again. Nina Webster's story has survived marriages, tragedy, danger, motherhood, separation, and decades away from the center of the action. Now she's coming home. And for longtime Young and the Restless fans, Nina's return could feel less like another comeback and more like opening a treasured chapter of Genoa City history all over